Think about those great stories your parents or grandparents used to tell you. Imagine having a video recording of them. Now you can capture those priceless family stories in 4K video and create a keepsake to share with your children, grandchildren, and future generations. Schedule a legacy video interview session in your home or in the comfort of a cherished family member's home. Perlow Productions can conduct the interview or help you with the questions. We deliver the edited full-length interview as an online link and downloadable video file. Just think about those stories you wish you'd asked your loved ones to share, or the memories you want to save in your words for future generations. Perlow Productions records your family history so those stories are never lost. Contact us today and keep generations of stories alive forever. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Just so you know, if you have questions you want to ask along the way, just either raise your hand on your screen or even just put them in the chat below, and I will answer the questions as we go. No need to wait till the end to do so. So certainly if you have a question along the way as I'm saying something, just chime in with any questions, small or large. And I will also include a link in the chat to more information about our legacy videos on our actual website, perlowproductions.com. So some people here are some familiar faces, some people here I do not know. So thank you to those of you who are new and regular followers of Perlow Productions. My name is Mike Perlow. I'm the president of Perlow Productions. Want to just spend a little bit of time tonight. I appreciate you giving us a little time to tell you about our legacy videos, answer some questions, and help you figure out if your family is right for a legacy video. Kind of a bit of a tongue-in-cheek question, because I think every family is right for a legacy video, but there's certainly certain things that I know people have asked us about regarding the process of shooting a legacy, shooting a legacy video, the interviews, etc. And I'll touch on that over the next little while. I was going to play the promo video, but I think most of you that are here saw it looping while you were waiting for this to start. So I'm going to pass on that. But if you want to see that promo video again, it is at that link in the chat on our website. Just a little bit of background on legacy videos and kind of the genesis of this concept. About 5 years ago, so a year or so before the pandemic, my mom was visiting the Philadelphia area from Boston, and I took some time. At the time she was about 76, and took some time one day to sit down, set up cameras in my home, and spend about 3 or 4 hours interviewing her about everything from when she was a child to her high school, college years and beyond, when she met my dad, when they got married, when my brothers and I were born, all the way up to present day and everything in between. I probably could have spent another 4 hours, but over those 3 or 4 hours, I got a lot of amazing stories from her and frankly learned a lot of things I never knew over the years, but really have an amazing record of her. And thank God 5 years later, she could still do the same interview, mentally, physically, and all of that. But part of the concept here with legacy videos is to capture these stories while the people who want to share them are not just still with us, but also of sound mind to share them in a clear and meaningful way. So while sometimes that's a little hard to think about, that's, a big part of the concept here is, if you're lucky enough to have older relatives or even yourself, having great stories you want to pass on for generations, what better way than through a legacy video? I've also, just had lots of people since we started offering legacy videos say to me, oh, I wish I'd known about this sooner, a month ago, a year ago, 6 months ago. My mom passed, my dad passed, my Uncle Fred passed. I wish I had this a year and a half ago. So the concept is, well, hopefully we get to people who, won't have to say this a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road because they took advantage of this opportunity to record a legacy video with their loved ones. I personally share my dad passed 17 years ago. I share my dad's stories with my kids all the time, but I can only imagine if we had a video of my dad telling all these amazing stories of his life that my kids could watch whenever they wanted, and frankly, their kids could watch someday. So those are just a few personal elements to what brought about the concept of legacy videos and why I feel so strongly and positive about them because I just think it's such an amazing, amazing way to capture these stories in the words of the people that would tell them, you know, and be able to play this and show this to people for generations to come. And in a format, you know, it's not going to be a VHS tape or a DVD that you're worried about 5 or 10 years down the road might be defunct. So we're giving, you know, and I'll get into that in a little bit. Again, if you have any questions at all, just throw them in the chat. Or if you know how to raise your hand in Zoom, you can do that as well. And happy to answer your question about any aspect of whatever is, you know, whatever you're wondering about with regard to legacy videos. And, you know, anywhere along the way, if you have a question, just chime in. So let me get down to some of the basics in terms of what a legacy video is all about for those of you who are still not quite clear. So the basic concept is you obviously identify a family member who you'd like to see interviewed and capture their stories. Create, you know, part of the process of doing it is creating a list of key topics, life moments, achievements, funny family stories, events, whatever, a list of different things that you want this person to speak about. And frankly, from that smaller list can come many other questions and stories and all of that. And that's usually part of the natural process of this legacy video interview is as they start talking about one thing, it dovetails into other things. And certainly, you know, you can conduct the interview if you want. I can conduct the interview. I have 17 years of experience as a reporter, TV reporter, so I'm very good at interviewing and asking very open-ended questions that elicit really broad answers and, you know, dig to the heart of what we want people to talk about. We can do it together. So if you want to chime in and say, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, tell Mike about this, we can do that as well. We shoot the interviews either at your home or the home of the person who we're interviewing or some other location if it works better for you. That really is your choice and what's the most comfortable for the person who we are interviewing for the legacy video. Typically, we spend 3 to 4 hours. That's usually a good amount of time. We can certainly take breaks as needed. Sometimes people after half an hour need a break. Some people can talk for hours. So whatever that is, we take some breaks and then, you know, continue the process. It does not need to be one continuous 3-4 hour recording. That's fairly exhausting for anybody. In terms of what you get at the end of the day, we deliver the full interview in an online link. So literally a link you can click, play online, email to friends, share with people, family, whatever you want to do. And also a downloadable video file, which means you can literally download the video to your laptop, desktop, iPad, any, you know, device and play it off of there. So you can bring it with you and don't need internet to play it if you want to show it at a family event. There are also options for beyond recording the main legacy video interview. There are options for creating a more creative edit utilizing old photos, videos, film, etc. That's something we can certainly explore. But, you know, if you wanted something more elaborate beyond the person's interview, and whether that's creating a multi-hour version of it, or even if you said, okay, we want the whole 3-4 hour interview, but we also would love like a 10-minute shorter version that we can show with some people at a certain event or for whatever purposes that integrates photos, video, awards, whatever it may be. So those are all parts of the basic legacy video project production. We come to you, you name the place, the time, we shoot the interview, we help you ask the questions, or you can ask the questions, and then we deliver you, usually within a week or two, the fully edited interview. And if we're doing something more elaborate, that obviously would take more time. Again, I put in the chat, and I'll put it in here again, there is a link to more information about legacy videos on our website. So if you want more information after this event, you can go there for more information. Even to schedule a legacy video interview, you can do it there as well. And if you have questions as I'm speaking, please chime in, raise your hand on Zoom, or put a question in the chat, and I will answer them as they come in. So here are some kind of frequently asked questions and comments that I've gotten over the last month or so, I've received over the last month or so about our legacy videos. And a couple of these were provided to me over the last week of people that couldn't attend tonight but wanted these questions answered. So I'll go through these one by one and take it from there. So probably the most popular question I'm asked is, do we provide a list of suggested questions? So the answer is yes. But I don't give a generic list to every person that does a legacy video. Really, what my approach is, I would have a conversation with you. You tell me a little bit about the person, some highlights of their life that we want to touch on. And then if you're conducting the interview, I would give you some suggested questions along those lines. If I am, I would put together a list of some potential questions, run them by you, make sure you're good with them. But quite honestly, if I'm the one conducting the interview, a lot of this process is rather organic, where if I hear somebody speak about a certain experience or life moment, I will ask some follow-up questions on that to get them to expound further about that moment, that time, that experience, that memory, that funny story, whatever it may be. But yes, we do not send you into this with no preparation. With everything we do at Perlow Productions, we're very big on preparation. And certainly for a legacy video, we want to make sure we're prepared with the right kinds of questions so we don't miss a very important topic. How do you best prepare the person being interviewed? Whether they're shy, don't like being on camera, nervous, don't like to talk about themselves. So part of it is what I would do in person with the person we're interviewing in terms of just sitting them down, having a relaxed conversation before we start recording, just about whatever, the Phillies, the stock market, whatever, their favorite movie, their favorite food, whatever it may be, and just putting them at ease so they don't feel like they're in the middle of a 60 minutes interview, and instead having a fun experience talking about their life with people. You know, in terms of if your loved one is shy, doesn't like being on camera, I would just explain to them that, you know, you understand that, but this is such a beautiful way to capture all of their great memories, and that you're confident they'll have fun with this and have the opportunity to reminisce themselves and with you, and that they, you know, really encourage them to just, you know, give it an opportunity. I can tell you that I've never interviewed anybody for any project who walked away and said, that was painful, I don't want to ever do that again. So I can assure you the same thing with your loved ones. Many people have said, well, Mike, are we going to ever actually want to watch a 3 to 4 hour video interview of somebody? I would say yes. Are you going to sit and watch it every week? No. But when you think about having this and all these stories, and as family members get older and as new generations come into the family, the opportunity to share this with younger members of your family, or some that are not even with us yet, and all the different stories that are there, it might not be something you watch every week or every month, but every year or so, maybe just every number of years. But the depth and detail that people can go into about their life through a legacy video is just unlike anything else. It's not a short question or two or a quick interview you might see from a wedding, or, you know, somebody making a few comments. So I would say maybe you won't watch it all the time, but over time, that 3-4 hour interview and all those amazing stories will become so much more precious to you and your family members who maybe never had a chance to meet that person. Another person, so some people have come to me and said, unfortunately, my parents are deceased, and I'm years away from doing this. You know, I'm too young to do a legacy video for myself. I'm not going to put an age range on when you're the right age to do a legacy video, but I would say certainly if you have children that are at least of high school, college age or beyond, not that you're expected to not be around for many, many years, but it's still a great time in life to capture yourself sharing, you know, whether it's important life lessons, stories of your family past, stories that you may have shared with your kids from time to time, but want to make sure that those stories are captured and saved for generations to come, and that you may have told your kids, and some they'll remember, some the details will slip away a little bit from time to time. So even as a way to just capture those stories when you're still in the adult prime of your life, but a way to capture them when you can tell them, you know, in your best ways, when they are 100% clear, crystal clear in your mind, and you can really give some thought to what are those important stories you want saved 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the road. So I don't think we're ever too young to do this, but it's really a decision you have to make about where you are in your life and what you want to, you know, secure in terms of your legacy, your family legacy. Even if you have a business, if you want to capture the legacy of your business or an organization you founded, all different ways that legacy videos can be utilized. Several people have told me their parents or other loved ones are in another part of the country. How do we make that work, they ask. We can do these anywhere in the country. while I'm obviously conducting the interviews with you. If it's in the Northeast region, we have had people inquire in Florida and Texas and California, if we're just doing one, we would have one of our local crews there shoot the interview. I would likely help doing the interview remotely at the same time with the family member that's there. But there are a number of different ways where we can shoot this locally, wherever the person is, any part of the country, frankly, any part of the world, and still capture the same quality of a great legacy video. Can we do it by Zoom is another question. Yes, we can, but again, probably not necessary. We have the capability to set up crews in any major city in the country. So if you have family members somewhere else and you want this done, you want to capture a legacy video, we can have a crew there, even if I can't be there personally. A few people have asked me, can we interview several family members on the same day? Absolutely. However, I would say that if we're committing 3 to 4 hours to one person, you probably don't want to do more than 2 or 3 of these in a day. I mean, technically, we could do them concurrently in different rooms, but I think we're best bet approaching one at a time. But if you had a big family reunion or some family get-together where you wanted to capture interviews with a number of family members, that's certainly something that we could discuss and figure out a plan, the best way to accomplish that in the course of a day or 2, or even over a whole weekend. Again, if you have any questions regarding the process of creating a legacy video, what's the best ways, any of that, throw a question in the chat or raise your hand. I'm happy to call on you. You can come on camera or just, with your audio, ask the question. Let's see what else I have here. A couple other questions I had. What's a good location for shooting a legacy video interview? Well, there's 2 answers to that. The first part is what is best for the person being interviewed. So I would say typically in the person's home, because that's where they're going to feel most comfortable. Within the scope of your home, usually finding a room where there are, comfortable seats, a comfortable atmosphere for the person. Probably not your kitchen, unless this person was just speaking about their life of cuisine. But in general, usually a living room, dining room, some kind of family room where there are comfortable seats, where the person can be at ease, and preferably a room where it's not tons of lighting everywhere, open windows everywhere. If there are some windows, we close shades just so it looks its best. But that's the other thing we would do is, if we're shooting the legacy video at 10 o'clock in the morning, we'd show up at least an hour early to get in there, set up, and make sure we pick the best location in the home to shoot this. And thank you, Yarrow, for your kind words. Appreciate all of your support for our legacy videos. Let's see, we had a couple others. How long do we need to set up? Again, we usually show up about an hour in advance, so we have plenty of time to get in, find a good location, set up our lights, our microphone, our cameras, etc., get comfortable. So we're not setting up and the moment we're ready, jumping into the interview. I like to have a little time to put the interview subject at ease so they feel much less like they're being interviewed and much more like we're just sitting there and having a conversation. And really, at the end of the day, that is the goal, is to make this a conversation and let them just, share all their different memories. How soon will we receive the edited legacy video? A couple people have asked me. Well, again, depends on what we're doing. If we're giving you an edited, when I say edited, if we're doing a 3-4 hour interview, we'll cut out some of the questions or some of the breaks and things like that, so you don't have to zoom through that. But once we have the whole video interview together, I would say you'd receive that within a week or less. If we're adding photos, videos, etc., then that's obviously going to take more time. If you were having this done for a certain event or occasion, then I'd obviously want to know that and make sure that we are shooting this in plenty of time to have it ready for you so you can review it, make sure you like everything, and have it ready for that particular date or time. Let's see what else. Okay, at least one more question here. So a few people have asked me, and this has come more from groups than individuals, if we offer nonprofit rates for nonprofit organizations who might be looking to do a number of these for their group, for their members, for whatever it may be. We don't necessarily, at Perlow Productions in general, we don't typically offer any special nonprofit rates, but I will tell you that one thing we've had a few conversations with, and certainly are open to more of this, is partnering with nonprofit organizations. These could be faith-based, cause-based, whatever it may be, and setting up a plan where either we just discount it per person, or better yet, discount it per person, per legacy video interview, and that portion of that discount could actually go towards the organization. So it would essentially serve as a fundraiser for that organization. Or we could just discount it for each person based on the group's discounted rate. But it can serve as kind of a double win if you are an organization that has many members that would benefit from a legacy video, and you can turn it into a fundraiser for your organization. So that's something we've discussed with a few, and certainly are always open to having that conversation with other people. And quite frankly, even at a corporate level, if a company, if a business wanted to do the same kind of thing and wanted to do legacy videos for, 50 of their employees, we could explore, a similar kind of approach, just obviously not from a nonprofit fundraising perspective. We'd probably just come up with a group discount for that, for each employee that chose to do a legacy video. So I think that covers all of the questions that people had submitted to me in advance. So I'm going to tackle a couple other things. And again, I will mention that there is a link in the chat. So after this session, or even as I'm speaking tonight, if you'd like more information or want to go ahead and schedule a legacy video interview, you can go right to this link on our website and do that there. So that link is again in the chat if you joined us a little late. A few other things there. So other uses for legacy video. So a lot of people think of them as just, interview a family member and that's it. Well, again, these could be done for a company history. If you want to do a video about the history of a company and capturing the legacy of that company, interviewing different key members of that organization over the years who can speak to the very early days to the present. An organizational history, if you founded a nonprofit organization or some group that you want to, again, carry on that legacy for future generations of where it all started, we can conduct legacy video interviews with key members of that organization that can speak to the very first days to present day and all that's come over the years and how things have grown and developed with that organization. If you are planning a family reunion, well, it's twofold. One, what better time to capture legacy video interviews, but also if you wanted to do something in advance of that family reunion, we could produce a video that you could show at the family reunion, potentially highlighting one key member of the family or a number of different people from your family that you could then play at your family reunion. So there's a lot of different applications for family reunions and get-togethers, milestone birthday celebrations. If you have a family member celebrating a special birthday, again, a legacy video about their life that you could play at their birthday party. Birthday celebration could be amazing, particularly if you have family members approaching, really special birthday numbers in the year to come. And finally, quite frankly, one that a couple people have asked about as well is this is something that could be used, at a funeral, sadly, but if it's something you capture with somebody, when they pass, it also is a beautiful way to share with everybody their life story. And the fact that you've captured this story and have the ability, even if you're not going to play the whole 3-4 hour interview, but perhaps we would create a 5 or 10 minute version that you could share at a funeral, at a wake, at some kind of memorial with friends and family about this person's life, and how powerful it would be to have this person telling the story of their own life. So those are not the only ways that a legacy video could be used, but some of those that have come to mind and have been asked of me by other people who contacted us about them. But there's no wrong way. Bottom line, the concept behind legacy videos is capturing stories from people, younger or older, in their words, while they can share them, that can be shared, those stories recorded can be shared with generations to come. And the beauty of digital media is it's not going out of, this is not going to be like a DVD or a VHS tape that 10 years or even 25 years from now, you won't be able to save, play, watch. So that's where legacy videos come to be. Again, if you have any questions for me, small, large, silly, or serious, please feel free to share them in the chat. If you're being shy and don't care to ask the questions now, you can certainly follow up with me after this and ask any questions that you may have. If we don't have any more questions, I'm going to wrap this up over the next couple minutes. I want to mention a couple things beyond the link in the chat for more information on our legacy videos. One thing I will tell you just in terms of general pricing, our legacy video interview sessions, the base price for the interview session and editing of the main video is $2,000 for a session of up to 3 hours. If we do an upgraded edit with photos, old videos, music, etc., we kind of customize the pricing on that. But most people are coming to us right now for recording those main legacy video interviews. The good thing about those of you who are attending tonight, and I'm fine with you sharing this with friends and family if you'd like to, is I'm offering a little promotional code for everybody that's here tonight, and frankly, anybody you want to share it with. If you have anybody that contacts us about, you're very welcome, Isabel. I'm glad you enjoyed this. Thank you for joining us. If you share this with anybody else, or if you contact us to schedule a legacy interview, just use the promo code Zoom. I know that was very original. And we're going to give you $300 off of that main legacy video production. So you can share it with others. Again, the promo code is Zoom, and I'm going to honor that through the end of October. The final two things I will do is I will put in the chat my contact information. So if you want to email me or call me, I'm going to put both of those. My email is mike@perlowproductions.com, and our phone number is, and these are in the chat again, is 856-669-1669. Feel free to call me, text me, email me with any questions. The other thing I will mention is this event is being recorded, so I'm certainly happy to share this with you, or if there's other people you know that would have liked to have watched this but just couldn't make it tonight, certainly let me know or have them reach out to me, and I'm happy to email them a link to the full event recording. I think that covers everything. I'm just looking through my list one more time to see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. I guess what I will do is thank you, Yarrow, again. Appreciate all of your support. I will end our evening with one more play of our Legacy Videos promo video in case you missed it. And again, thank you all for your time this evening, for learning a little bit more about legacy videos. And I hope that we have the opportunity to work with many of you in the near future, capturing your family stories through the power of a legacy video. Thanks again, and have a great evening. Think about those great stories your parents or grandparents used to tell you. Imagine having a video recording of them. Now you can capture those priceless family stories in 4K video and create a keepsake to share with your children, grandchildren, and future generations. Schedule a legacy video interview session in your home or in the comfort of a cherished family member's home. Perlow Productions can conduct the interview or help you with the questions. We deliver the edited full-length interview as an online link and downloadable video file. Just think about those stories you wish you'd asked your loved ones to share, or the memories you want to save in your words for future generations. Perlow Productions records your family history so those stories are never lost. Contact us today and keep generations of stories alive forever.